Hello! Hello, little Dowston! How are you doing? Do you need some loving? Do you need some loving? Yes, yes. Yes. Oh, I'm sorry I've ignored you for 2 days. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, little Dowston, little Dowston. So this guy's had a really bad time since Kabir went to hospital. I don't think we're going to see Kabir again. I assume he's getting flown back to the US. So yeah, Dow used to live with him on the same, garden level as the family that run this place. So the family that run this place, the dad bought Dow, is my understanding. And then they fobbed him off onto Kabir, and he had quite a nice life. He had the garden, he had Kabir's attention, who, is completely disabled, but he focused on Dow. And then since Kabir's gone, Dow, I'll show it you soon, but Dow has been banished to this bottom section of the garden, which is fenced off. And so it's been about a week. And yesterday it rained all day, and he was caged in here. And I have to watch it all from that balcony up there, just watching. If I'm honest, the dad of this family, he feels so bad. So the woman, obviously their husband and wife, the woman has such an amazing energy and she's so loving. And then the father is just a complete opposite. He's not interested in anyone that lives here, which, I dig that. I'd be the same if it was my business. I mean, no, I wouldn't actually. I'd play the role. I'd smile. You alright? How's your flat? Yeah, I'd play the role. He don't even bother doing that, which in one way I respect, but with him it's not coming from an enlightened place, it's just coming from this guy is dead. I actually, to me it feels like demonic energy that's running through him. What's also really bizarre is he owns this place, which has to make $1,000 a month profit. More, I would imagine. A Vietnamese family can live on $1,000 a month. And he's a Grab driver. Oh yeah, I showed, for regular viewers, I showed you a Grab bike outside and assuming it was a guy that lives in the dark room, but no, it's the owner of this place. So bizarre. But basically, this guy gets zero attention now. And he is such an attention seeker. You are just such a loving little lover, aren't you? And it just seems so bizarre to me. I mean, obviously it's a completely different culture, so it's always going to be bizarre. And it's very different out here with dogs, but it just seems so bizarre to me to get a dog and then just have nothing to do with it and leave it in a cage. I mean, look, the cage hasn't even got anything soft on the bottom of it. And it's just another world. And what I keep telling myself is, because it's really hard for me to watch, but it's, I just keep telling myself, there's many dogs in Vietnam with a really miserable existence, disease and injuries and all sorts. And, this guy's getting fed every day. I'm almost certain that with her caring soul, that if something happened to him medically, that he'd get veterinary care, although that's obviously also a bad thing because it means they might be jabbing him. Hopefully they don't care about him enough to, because obviously they're the idiots and believe that jabs are healthy. And yeah, just like human jabs, obviously the dog jabs are just the same. So yeah, hopefully they don't care about him enough to poison him. Anyway, you might be wondering, I bought the lead, didn't I? Am I walking him? Well, I walked him once, and he was so scared, because he's never left these grounds. He just kept calving. We didn't get more than 20 meters. So obviously I should keep doing that every day, and he'll build up. But now Kabir's gone, it feels, it's kind of like it's the demon's dog now. And it's kind of like the demon has, there's a physical barrier at the top of your stairs, but energetically there's a demonic barrier. And I can just feel like my presence just makes him fucking... it's just excruciating for him. So I've kind of just shied away, and I've been struggling a bit myself recently, so I've just shied away from... Oh, Dow. I need to get you in my flat, don't I? But then that's another problem. Like, I'm not going to be here too long, at the most 2 months. So is it actually crueler to give him all this love and this care, like, for example, have him in my flat, walk him every day, and then just disappear? I mean, that's what happened with my dogs in Thailand when I got deported, and it was just awful. I had a little dog that looked a lot like this called Jeremy. It was just devastated. Like, when I first went to jail, and then I came out after 3 days, like, his reaction when he saw me, like, whoa, like, you could just see how much he'd been struggling. And then, of course, I got taken away. What are you doing with that back foot, you silly one? That's a very silly position. Now, I will say that Dow has never been seen like this before. I'm the only one that can get him in this calm state. He is so intense. Now, 99% of people are retarded, and that shows up in dog ownership. You know, if you ever see somebody, well, anyone walking a dog on a lead really, but particularly an extendable lead, you know, this is a retard, because dogs are the most simple animal. Like, they're such simple animals. So you'll always see the conscious men in particular, but well, conscious people actually. You know, if they own a dog, then the dog's off a lead. Hello, how are you? You got food for Dow? For Mung Bean? He's so calm. He's so calm. So yeah, what I was saying there was, yeah, I can get him into this state because I have natural leadership skills. But well, I'm just not a retard. Is essentially what it is. Because, like I say, it's so logical. Like, communicating with a dog is literally the most logical thing you can do. And don't knock my coffee over, dog. So you know, you'll probably see now with this kid, like, he just goes mental. So I can see why they can't deal with him, because he's like jumping up and scratching, because they don't know how to stop him. They don't know how to communicate. Like, look how scared he is to come downstairs. Like, he's actually letting Dow dictate. Look at that. No, tell him not to. You know, don't just be like, oh, you did this. So this is what he's like with everyone else. So I can understand why it seems too much for them. Down! Get down! Up! Up! Down! Are you putting it in here? Alright, go on down. You see, dogs just need clear boundaries, and they love it as well. You know, like, people think it's cool to be physical with a dog or harsh with a dog. No. You've got to replicate the pack leader. You've got to replicate their mother. She would bark. She would bark. She would nip. She would bite. She'd build up a command. She'd have consequences to commands. Whereas humans are just like, oh, don't do that. No, don't jump up at me. Oh, yeah. They use sentences like it's a child because they're all fucking retarded. Thank you, massive love and appreciation to these amazing people. Back to the video. Thank you. Yeah, it seems like, you know, they care enough to keep him alive, but not much more than that. And it's just like, why? What's the point? Why would you have a dog and just feed it twice a day and then ignore it? Like, I just don't understand it. I just don't understand it at all. Other than he is super intense and they just can't cope with him. I get that. And they've just sort of resorted to this. Like, but they've put no effort in whatsoever. I just live in a retarded world. There's no point trying to understand the mentality of retards. Just got to accept they're fucking retarded and stay away from them. I don't know why I entered a fucking flat above, below, and to the side of them. Oh, fucking hell. So in a previous video I was thinking of going to Bali when my visa expires. But I've just realised, so I'm looking at the prices. So when I flew from Bali to, where am I now, Vietnam. This was pre-Agenda 2030 war, the war in Iran. Israel, the Greater Israel plan. It's just so ridiculous that people don't know what's going on. Anyway, it cost £80. Now to fly to Bali, it costs £230. So I'm just like, well, if I spend 2 months in Bali, you know, I have a fairly good idea of what's happening here. You know, this isn't a war, obviously. It's the beginning of one world government, a new world order, and to do that they need everyone in lockdown and perpetual fear and starving, and then the migrants obviously start killing and robbing everyone, because that's obviously what they'll do when there's no food. And then people will call in like a 1984 Minority Report type state to protect them, and then, you know, they're enslaved. So that's what's coming, which is fun. So basically, the reason I say all that is just to show that in 2 months it's not going to be any better, it's going to be a lot worse. So it seems very foolish actually to go and fly to a little island in the middle of this, you know, I mean, we honestly, like, what's coming, and maybe by the time you see this video, like, we're talking serious famines, we're talking potentially no flights at all, certainly very much reduced flights. So how much is it going to cost me to get out of Bali? You know, it could, in 2 months time, it could be £1,000 to get out of Bali. So I think it's much more sensible to stay on this big bit of land where I can bounce between Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam, and yeah, try and stay alive during the apocalypse. It's going to be interesting, especially from the perspective of somebody who doesn't even really want to be alive, because everyone's fucking retarded and doesn't even know that an apocalypse is coming. And then when I think about, oh, okay, it's amazing how much it's changed. I haven't even been doing this a year. I've only been doing this 10 months. I mean, 2 years out of the last 3, basically. By this, I mean being an expat. Escaping my home country of tyranny and African invasion. And already, like, I'm done with travelling. Like, I'm done. Like, there's no excitement. Like, when I think, oh, I could go and see Laos. Like, there's a little bit of, like, oh, another country. But actually, no, it won't be that interesting. It will basically be the same. It might be a bit quieter, but... And basically what I've realised is, you know, and just the idea of like hiring a bike again and just going through the whole process again, I'd rather just stay here, and I think I can really make that work if I can find a quiet place. And surely now I found that walk, if I went somewhere around there, if I had my own house and I didn't have to listen to fucking retards, that could be great. So yeah, I change my mind all the time. But I think I'm leaning towards just staying in the lap. Just had to loosen his collar. I mean, it's just unbelievable that how tight that collar was. Just so unnecessary. And this is what I mean by the demonic energy. It's him. And you know, the fact that there's, I mean, it just amazes me because she's got such a like angelic, caring energy. But to put an animal in a cage like that, or not... Yeah, obviously to put it in a cage at all is mental to me. But I can understand from their retarded point of view, plus culturally I can understand. But to not give it any sort of comfort on the bottom and have it lying on bars, that's the demonic energy. And the demonic energy is so apparent. Like, I'm not searching here. Like, you know, it's in his face, it's in his character, it's in the way he talks to his wife. Yeah, really, really bad. But that level of cruelty, that level of like... of wanting to inflict pain on another, especially something so innocent and so loving like that. Oh man. You know, thinking back to times in my life where I've had that sort of energy running through me, and like, you know, psychologically I know it and I understand it. I've been it. Oh my god, it repulses me. Absolutely repulses me now. But it's just part of the human condition, sadly. So lovely. He just loves it. I mean, obviously all dogs love humans and love us, but Dow in particular just lives for the fuss. Hence why he's so intense, because he's just like, love me, love me, love me, let me love you. And they're just like, no, I'm a soulless, dead entity inside and I have no love. I think these are the type of pets that are more suited to this level of consciousness, the level of retardation. And they do a good job with these. You just have to feed them twice a day, and they just float around. This is the right level of pettery for these people. Yeah, very tired. I nearly enjoyed it today.
Oh yeah, I got
Nearly. Still don't like,
Ah.
but nearly like. I think in 2 more times I like.
Oh yeah. Okay, see you next time.
Alright, thank you very much. See you. Yeah, so as you know, I absolutely hate yoga. But today was the first day where I'm still a total retard. But it almost flowed a little bit. So basically I suppose I'm getting to a point where sometimes I can move from one position to the other without collapsing first. So there's the flow. So then suddenly you're in it. And yes, it's painful, and yes, you're doing it like a retard, but there's flow, and there's presence, and there's in the moment. For the first time I experienced that today. Whereas usually in between each move I'm like collapsing, having to start again. Obviously then you're just completely in my mind, then the clock watching starts, then they're like, why the fuck am I doing this? Oh my god, there's another 30 minutes, can I walk out now? And all of this starts. Whereas today, it came up twice. In my mind, it came up twice when I collapsed out of position to have a look at the clock, and oh, I did look at the clock. I looked at the clock on 45 minutes, and now usually I'm looking on the clock on like 20 minutes and being like, can I leave? Can I find an excuse to leave? Can I just fucking fuck this off and not care? Whereas I didn't even look at the clock till 45 minutes. And then when I saw that, I just felt this relief, because I know the last 5 minutes is a meditation. So just 10 more minutes, just 10 more minutes. So yeah, I didn't go into that until the last 15 minutes. So that's huge progress, because usually that's just like a whole fucking session. So yeah, I'm really happy with that. My concern is I've come to the later class, the 5:30 class. So I'm going to go for my sauna now, and I'm just really worried that there's... You know what, I would accept people in there chatting. Like, I think that would be... What I mean by that is, like, so there's 3 possibilities. Either it's going to be empty and I'm going to be able to sit in there in silence. There's going to be people in there chatting, bearing in mind it's peak time, or there's going to be somebody or people in there playing music out of their phones. Now obviously the last one is intolerable, and I don't think I'd even go in there if that was happening. I think I'd settle for this one at this time, but obviously I'm hoping for this one to be by myself. Let's find out. Oh man, this is so bad. So I actually look like a fucking clown. I've got my flower top, which is pretty daring in Vietnam. And I got my hippie trousers that I bought when I was 30 in Peru. So the Vietnamese are very, they're very conformist. Again, I'm making assumptions, but what I can say for certain is they basically all, just like in England, wear brown, grey or black or white. So when I was in Hanoi, like, I got some right looks for these trousers. Like, they'd never wear these trousers. And to be honest, I cringe a little bit over these trousers now. But I just really like the fact that I bought them in Peru. They're really good quality, obviously 100% cotton and all that. There's an attachment to them, a sentimental attachment to it. But it's, very clear to me that if I'm wearing these, and really I want a plain black top or a plain grey top, and I've come to a gym with my fucking flower top, haven't I? And obviously I'm sweating like a rapist in a child's playground because I've been in the sauna, not because I'm a rapist in a child's playground. I'll leave that to the Africans and the Muzzies. So I've got a full black jacket. So basically I've got to walk out of the gym now. And obviously the gym is like the most dystopian NPC place ever, where, people are just like jarred by colour or personality or, a soul that's alive. So it's like the worst place you could possibly do it. So fuck it, I don't give a fuck, man. I was gonna say, do I put my jacket on and save myself from the judgment of other people that I really couldn't care less about? Like, it's so silly. No, this is a good shadow work practice, allowing myself to feel the pain of my ego that still cares what other people think. Like, ugh, why would I care? Everyone's a retard. So, there's not even anyone here, look. That was all very meaningless, but let's see. Let's see if anybody looks at me. Who's that crazy guy? Nah, no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. It was all in my head. I think you'll find pretty much everything is all in your head. And if you just lean into it and do what your ego tells you not to, you'll find that you are just living in a made-up story and delusion. Thanks, guys. Ooh, they didn't want to look at me. Oh. Vietnam at night. There's nothing to see, but there's a nice Vietnamese flag. They're everywhere. Very different to England. The government actually put them up rather than taking them down. Joy to the world, God is good. Oh, he's been told. Look at that leadership. Good leadership. Well, it was until he started stroking him while he's being naughty. But this dog obviously does respect this young man to a point. I think this man is a sort of man who will definitely, I mean, they don't walk dogs out here, but this man would not use a lead with his dog. His dog would just follow him. Let's see now. I think we'll find it. We'll follow him. Now, he's not got the consequences to commands quite, but he has got basic communication. So basically, I think you missed this. This dog was barking at me, and that's why I started recording, so I was going to take the piss out of it. But then his owner came along, and now, look at how, whilst the dog is still wants to try and dominate me, it's more interested in its owner and what its owner says. Good! That, my favourite racists. Ah, it's the main man. Hello! One, yes. Whoop. Oh, we do have a laugh, don't we? So when this guy's around, there's no problem getting served. He runs a tight ship. He always notices me. And yeah, serves me straight away. It's great. Come on! Okay. See you. Here's the chef. Good! Thanks to all those that gave feedback in the last video on background noise. Really appreciated it a lot. You're all unanimous, completely unanimous. Keep it raw, keep it authentic. That's what I wanted, that's what I felt. Really glad you guys agree. I really appreciate that. Thank you to everyone who commented. And of course, thanks to everyone who likes the video and subscribes. See you soon.